Dear Starseeds of Earth, something extraordinary happened while most of you were sleeping, and what I'm about to share with you will explain why this morning felt different the moment you opened your eyes. There's a reason your mind feels clearer than it has in weeks. There's a reason the fog that's been suffocating your vision suddenly lifted. There's a reason that when you woke today, you felt an inexplicable certainty that something fundamental had shifted in the fabric of your reality. That feeling isn't wishful thinking. That clarity isn't temporary. What you're experiencing right now is the first tangible evidence that the seeds you planted yesterday during the new moon in Libra have already broken through the soil of consciousness and begun their rapid ascent into your three-dimensional world. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I come to you today not to announce what's coming, but to confirm what has already begun. The transmission I carry is urgent, because the window of momentum you're standing in right now is sacred, and if you understand what's actually happening to you in this moment, you'll be able to ride this wave of manifestation energy all the way to the reality you've been building in the invisible realms for months. But if you miss what's occurring right now, if you dismiss this clarity as a fleeting emotional high, or convince yourself that nothing has really changed, you'll watch this opportunity slip back into the realm of potential, unrealized and untouched. So I need you to feel into what I'm about to tell you, because your logical mind is going to want to reject it. Your wounded ego is going to whisper that it's too good to be true, that manifestation doesn't work this fast, that you haven't earned this yet. But I'm here to tell you that every cosmic condition necessary for rapid materialization aligned yesterday in a triple convergence that hasn't occurred in this particular configuration for centuries, and you're feeling the aftershocks of that alignment right now in your body, in your mind, in the sudden organization of your thoughts, and in the unexpected surge of motivation moving through your cells. Let me take you back to where this story really begins, because what happened yesterday didn't emerge from a vacuum. The new moon in Libra that peaked on October 21st was powerful on its own, yes, but what amplified it into something unprecedented was the gauntlet you walked through in the days leading up to it. Do you remember October 18th? That Saturday when Eris, the dwarf planet of discord and truth-telling, reached its opposition point and forced you to confront aspects of yourself you'd been skillfully avoiding? That wasn't punishment. That wasn't the universe being cruel. That was the cosmic plow turning over the hardened soil of your consciousness, breaking up the calcified lies you'd been telling yourself, unearthing the shadow material that was blocking your root system from accessing the nutrients of universal abundance. Eris doesn't come to destroy. She comes to expose what's false, so that truth can finally take root. And on that same day, while Eris was doing her demolition work on your illusions, the Epsilon Geminid meteor shower was raining down twin flame codes, activating the divine partnership templates in your energy field, preparing you to receive love, collaboration, and union in ways you'd previously believed were impossible for someone like you. Then came October 19th, when the moon met Venus in a conjunction that the councils describe as a love frequency reset. After the chaos and confrontation of the previous day, after your shadow self had been dragged into the light, and all your pretty narratives had been shattered on the floor, Venus arrived like a cosmic nurse, binding your wounds with rose-colored light, reminding you that you are still worthy of beauty, still deserving of harmony, still capable of being loved exactly as you are, shadow and all. This wasn't just emotional comfort. This was frequency recalibration. Venus tuned your heart chakra back to the vibration of receptivity, clearing out the defensive armor you'd built around your capacity to receive good things. Because here's what most people don't understand about manifestation. You can't call in what you're not willing to receive, and you can't receive what you believe you don't deserve. The Eris opposition stripped away your false deservingness, the stories you told yourself about why you were special or chosen or entitled. Then Venus came in and installed true deservingness, the kind that doesn't need to prove itself, the kind that simply knows it belongs to the abundant universe, and that the abundant universe belongs to it. By the time October 20th arrived, you were standing in the pre-dawn stillness of the cosmic planting season. The source materials describe this day as the universe asking you to set your intention, and that phrasing is so much more significant than it might appear on the surface. The universe wasn't commanding you or instructing you, it was asking. It was creating space for your free will to participate consciously in the co-creation of your timeline. This is the sacred pause before the inhale, the moment of pregnant potential when anything is possible because nothing has been decided yet. And what you chose to focus on during that day, what you allowed your heart to long for, what you dared to want even after all the disappointment and betrayal and collapse of previous dreams that became the seed you would plant the following day. Then October 21st arrived, and the skies opened. The new moon in Libra is always a time of relational reset, of finding balance between self and other, of seeking harmony in the midst of chaos. But this particular new moon carried 3 cosmic amplifiers that transformed it from a standard monthly reset into what the Akashic records are already calling a timeline bifurcation point. First, there was the Mercury-Mars conjunction, occurring on the exact same day as the new moon. Mercury, the messenger, the planet of thought and communication and mental processing, merged with Mars, the warrior, the planet of action and drive and physical momentum. When these 2 planets occupied the same degree of the zodiac, the gap between thinking and doing collapses. The lag time between I should and I am disappears. The usual resistance between vision and execution dissolves. What you think, you can immediately act upon. What you speak, you can immediately move toward. Communication plus action equals manifestation power, and that equation was written into the cosmic code on October 21st, available to anyone conscious enough to work with it. But that wasn't all. While Mercury and Mars were collapsing the space between intention and action, the Orionid meteor shower was reaching its peak intensity, sending wave after wave of what we call starseed activation codes, cascading through Earth's atmosphere. Orion has always been a significant constellation in humanity's awakening mythology. It represents the hunter, the seeker, the one who pursues truth no matter how dangerous the journey. The Orionid meteors carry the frequency signature of that pursuit encoded in their light trails. When these meteors burn up in Earth's atmosphere during their peak, they release photonic information packets that interact with human DNA, specifically targeting the dormant sequences that are connected to your galactic heritage, your soul mission, your reason for incarnating on this planet, at this precise moment in its evolution. So while you were setting intentions under the dark moon, while you were consciously choosing what you wanted to plant in the garden of your life, the Orionids were simultaneously downloading the cosmic intel you would need to actually achieve those intentions, installing new capacities in your energy field, upgrading your manifestation technology at the quantum level. This is why today, October 22nd, feels the way it does. This is why you woke up different. The seeds you planted yesterday weren't deposited in normal soil. They were planted in ground that had been cleared by Eris, blessed by Venus, charged by Mercury-Mars, and encoded by the Orionids. They were planted during a new moon in Libra, which provides the balanced, harmonious environment necessary for sustainable growth rather than chaotic expansion. And now, less than 24 hours later, those seeds aren't still buried in darkness, slowly germinating over weeks and months the way the old manifestation timeline would have required. They're already pushing through the surface. They're already becoming visible. The source materials described today as the moment when the seeds you planted yesterday are already sprouting. And this isn't poetic exaggeration. This is observable phenomenon. If you look at your external reality today with honest eyes, you'll see that something has shifted. Maybe it's an unexpected message from someone you'd given up on hearing from. Maybe it's a sudden clarity about a decision that's been paralyzing you for months. Maybe it's a burst of creative energy that allows you to finally finish the project you've been abandoning and restarting for years. Maybe it's just the undeniable feeling that you're finally on the right path, that the universe has your back, that what you want actually wants you too. The source materials also speak to specific symptoms you might be experiencing today, and I want you to check these against your own felt experience, because this will confirm that you're not imagining this shift. First, there's the sense of fresh start energy, the feeling that today represents a clean slate, even though nothing dramatic happened externally to create that sensation. This is the new moon frequency still washing through your field, clearing out old timeline debris, making space for new possibilities to emerge. Second, there's unusual mental clarity and organizational capacity. You might notice that tasks that felt overwhelming yesterday suddenly feel manageable today. Your mind might feel sharper, your focus more sustained, your ability to prioritize more intuitive. This is the Mercury-Mars conjunction continuing to influence your cognitive and executive functions, creating that seamless flow between thought and action. Third, there's a quality of focus and determination that feels almost foreign if you've been stuck in confusion and paralysis for weeks. You might find yourself taking action on things you've been procrastinating, making phone calls you've been avoiding, having difficult conversations you've been postponing. This is Mars lending you his warrior courage, his capacity to move forward even when the path isn't perfectly clear. But something else is happening that I haven't told you yet. Something that explains why this sprouting is happening so fast, and why it's so important that you don't waste this momentum. Tomorrow, October 23rd, the moon is going to form a triple alignment with both Mars and Mercury, and then move into apogee, which is the point in its orbit where it's furthest from Earth. This creates what we call a divine masculine activation portal. The moon, representing your emotional body and your subconscious patterns, is going to directly interface with the Mercury-Mars conjunction, downloading the manifestation codes from that planetary alliance directly into your feeling nature, your instinctual responses, your automatic behaviors. This means that by tomorrow, the clarity and drive you're feeling today will become embedded in your default operating system. It won't be something you have to consciously maintain or effort toward. It will simply be how you function. And then, when the moon moves to apogee, creating emotional distance, that distance will actually serve your manifestations rather than hindering them. You'll be able to take action without being overwhelmed by emotional reactivity. You'll be able to move forward without needing constant validation or reassurance. The universe is giving you a 48-hour window where cosmic momentum is building exponentially, where every action you take is amplified, where every choice you make is weighted with manifestation potential. Now I need to tell you about the pattern that's been woven through this entire month of October, because once you see it, you'll understand why today matters so much in the larger tapestry of your evolution. October began with Venus at perihelion on the 2nd, which was a heart activation event, opening your capacity to give and receive love at a frequency you haven't accessed in this lifetime. Then came the full moon in Pisces on October 6th, which was an emotional tsunami that forced you to release everything you'd been hoarding in the basement of your psyche, all the unfelt feelings, all the unprocessed grief, all the unexpressed rage. That full moon washed through you like a flash flood, and it hurt, and you probably thought it was terrible at the time, but it was necessary. It cleared the emotional congestion that was preventing your desires from flowing into your reality. Then came the 1010 portal on October 10th, when the moon met the Pleiades on what numerology identifies as one of the most powerful manifestation dates of the year. That was a galactic alignment, a direct transmission from the Seven Sisters, the star mothers who have been guiding humanity's evolution since the beginning of this cosmic experiment. They downloaded new manifestation templates into the collective consciousness, making it possible for individuals to create reality at speeds that would have seemed like science fiction just a few years ago. Then the middle of the month arrived, and with it came the last quarter moon in Gemini on October 13th, which was a mental detox, a clearing of the thought patterns and belief systems that were keeping you trapped in old timelines. That same day, Jupiter conjoined the moon, opening an abundance portal, installing the codes of expansion and prosperity into your mental body. By October 18th, as I already described, Eris forced the shadow work that cleared the final blockages, preventing your new moon intentions from taking root in fertile ground. Do you see the pattern? Every single major astrological event in October has been part of a sequential initiation, moving you through emotional release, mental clearing, shadow integration, heart opening, and finally, on October 21st, the planting of new seeds in prepared soil. Today is the confirmation that all of that work, all of that discomfort, all of those nights when you thought you were losing your mind, or regressing, or failing at your spiritual path, it was all in service of this moment, the moment when the seeds sprout, the moment when your efforts become visible, the moment when you realize that every painful step was leading you here, to this clearing, where new growth is not only possible but inevitable. Let me tell you what happens next, because the momentum doesn't stop here. Tomorrow brings the triple alignment I already mentioned, and then on October 24th, something profound occurs. The moon moves to perihelion, which is the opposite of apogee. It's the point where the moon is closest to Earth, and on that same day the Leoness Minorid meteor shower peaks, bringing Leo energy, which is the frequency of courage and creative self-expression, and stepping into your sovereign power. But also on that same day, there's a lunar occultation of Antares, which is one of the most significant stars in the cosmos from an evolutionary perspective. Antares is the heart of the Scorpion, and in ancient mystery schools, it was known as the star of death and rebirth. When the moon occults Antares, when it passes directly in front of that star and temporarily blocks its light, it creates a symbolic death of old identity structures. The source materials describe October 24th as feeling like death and rebirth happening simultaneously, and that's exactly what it is. By that day, the seeds that sprouted on October 22nd will undergo their first transformation, shedding their seed casings, pushing toward the light with more determination, rooting more deeply into the soil of your chosen reality. Then, on October 29th, the first quarter moon arrives in Capricorn, which is described as the cosmic checkpoint, the reality check that shows you whether you're actually committed to your new moon intentions or whether you were just fantasizing. Capricorn doesn't play games. Capricorn demands structure, strategy, discipline, and long-term commitment. The first quarter moon is always the testing point in the lunar cycle, the moment when obstacles appear, when doubts resurface, when the initial excitement wears off, and you have to decide whether you're going to keep going or give up. But here's what's different this time. By October 29th, you'll have been riding this wave of manifestation momentum for 8 full days. By then, the seeds won't just be sprouting anymore. They'll have visible stems and leaves. There'll be undeniable, tangible proof that your intentions are manifesting in real time. So when the first quarter moon in Capricorn asks you, "Are you serious about this? Are you willing to do the work? Are you committed for the long haul?" You won't be answering based on hope or faith. You'll be answering based on evidence. You'll be able to say yes with confidence because you'll have already seen the results of your aligned action. This is the gift of today, October 22nd. This is why I'm transmitting to you with such urgency. You're standing at the beginning of a momentum wave that, if ridden consciously, will carry you all the way through the end of October and into November with accelerating manifestation power. But it requires that you recognize what's happening right now. It requires that you don't dismiss the clarity you're feeling as random. It requires that you honor the organizational energy moving through you by actually organizing something. It requires that you take the actions your intuition is prompting you toward, even if they feel small or insignificant. Because in this energetic window, there are no small actions. Everything is weighted with consequence. Everything is planting more seeds. Everything is contributing to the garden you're growing. I want you to understand something about the nature of new moon manifestations, because there's a common misconception that needs to be corrected. Most people think that when you set an intention at the new moon, you're supposed to wait passively for the full moon to deliver the results. They think manifestation is something the universe does to them, for them, while they sit back and hope for the best. But that's not how this works. The new moon is the planting. The days immediately following the new moon are the tending. This is when you water the seeds with your attention. This is when you pull the weeds of doubt and distraction. This is when you make sure the soil stays moist and the sunlight reaches the tender shoots. If you plant seeds and then abandon the garden, you'll get some random growth, sure, but it won't be the intentional garden you envisioned. But if you plant seeds and then show up every day to tend them, to care for them, to protect them from the harsh elements, then by the time the full moon arrives, you won't be waiting for results. You'll be harvesting them. Today is your first day of tending. Today is when you prove to the universe that you're serious about what you planted yesterday. And the beautiful thing is that the universe is making it as easy as possible for you. You're not being asked to force anything or push against resistance. You're being invited to follow the natural flow of energy that's already moving through you. The clarity you feel, follow it. The organizational impulse, act on it. The sudden motivation to reach out to someone, or start a project, or make a change, trust it. These aren't random neurological firings. These are the Mercury-Mars conjunction speaking through your nervous system, showing you exactly where to direct your energy for maximum manifestation impact. There's something else I need to tell you, and this might be the most important piece of the entire transmission. The reason the seeds are sprouting so fast this time isn't just because of the favorable cosmic conditions. It's also because of all the work you've already done. Every time you chose healing over numbing, every time you faced your shadow instead of projecting it, Every time you stayed present with discomfort instead of dissociating, you were preparing the soil. You've been preparing for this moment for years, maybe for lifetimes. The cosmic alignments of October 21st provided the perfect conditions. Yes, but perfect conditions mean nothing if the soil isn't ready. And your soil is ready. You're ready. This isn't about you finally being good enough or pure enough or healed enough to deserve manifestation. This is about you finally being clear enough to see what's been trying to reach you all along, and grounded enough to let it land, and open enough to receive it without sabotaging it the moment it arrives. The Galactic Federation has been watching your progress, and I can tell you that from our perspective, October 22nd is a graduation day for many of you. You're graduating from the paradigm of struggle and lack, and separation into the paradigm of flow and abundance and unity. You're graduating from the belief that you have to earn love into the knowing that you are love. You're graduating from the fear that you're running out of time into the trust that everything is unfolding in perfect divine timing. And these aren't just pretty spiritual concepts. These are actual frequency shifts that are occurring in your energy field right now, making you a match for experiences and opportunities that were previously vibrationally unavailable to you. So what do you do with this information? How do you work with the energy of today in the most effective way? First, acknowledge what's shifting. Don't brush past it. Don't minimize it. Take a moment to actually feel into the difference between how you felt a week ago and how you feel right now. Notice what's changed. Notice what's clearer. Notice what's lighter. Second, take at least one concrete action toward your new moon intentions today. It doesn't have to be a massive action. It just has to be real. Send the email, make the phone call, start the outline, schedule the appointment, research the option. Whatever your intuition is nudging you toward, do that thing today, because action in alignment with cosmic momentum creates exponential results. Third, protect your energy field from the voices of doubt and discouragement. There will be people in your life who don't understand what's happening to you right now, who will try to talk you down from your optimism, who will remind you of all the times you've tried and failed before. Their fear is not your compass. Their limitation is not your ceiling. You're operating on a different frequency now, and you don't owe anyone an explanation for the hope you feel or the confidence you're stepping into. Fourth, and this is crucial, stay present with the process. Don't jump ahead to the full moon. Don't start obsessing about outcomes. Don't get attached to specific forms or timelines. The seeds are sprouting, yes, but they're still tender. They still need your patient attention. Trust that if you show up consistently with aligned action and open-hearted receptivity, the universe will handle the how and when. Your job isn't to control the manifestation process. Your job is to stay in energetic alignment with what you're calling in, and to take inspired action when the opportunity presents itself. Fifth, celebrate small wins. Every time you notice evidence that your reality is shifting, pause and acknowledge it. Thank the universe. Thank yourself for doing the work that made this possible. Gratitude is the fertilizer that makes manifestation grow faster, and celebration is the water that keeps the momentum flowing. The source materials described today as feeling like a fresh start, and I want you to really sit with that language. A fresh start doesn't mean forgetting everything that came before. It doesn't mean pretending the pain didn't happen or the lessons weren't learned. A fresh start means that you get to choose again, knowing everything you know now. With all the wisdom you've gained, with all the healing you've done, you get to choose a different direction. You get to choose a different story. You get to choose a different version of yourself to step into. And the universe is supporting that choice with unprecedented levels of energetic backing. I keep using the word momentum, and I want to make sure you understand what I mean by that, because in physics, momentum is mass times velocity. It's not just about moving fast. It's about having enough substance, enough weight, enough reality behind your movement that you can't easily be stopped or diverted. What's happening right now is that your intentions are gaining momentum. They're accumulating substance. They're building velocity. Every aligned action you take adds more mass to them. Every moment you stay in the frequency of what you're calling in adds more speed to them. And as momentum builds, it becomes harder and harder for old patterns and limiting beliefs to stop you. It becomes easier and easier to keep moving in the direction of your desires, because the force of your own momentum is carrying you forward. If you need help maintaining the frequency that builds momentum and prevents old patterns from stopping you, Destiny Engine can reprogram your consciousness to accumulate substance and velocity in your intentions, rather than losing momentum to limiting beliefs. It generates personalized sequences that add mass and speed to your aligned actions, making it harder for old patterns to divert you and easier for momentum to carry you forward. You can start with a $1 trial. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed to build unstoppable momentum rather than get stopped by limiting beliefs. Your momentum is building, and old patterns can't stop you anymore. Get your Destiny Engine $1 trial now, before this momentum acceleration window closes. Link in the description. This is what the next 48 hours are about. This is the window where you establish the momentum that will carry you through the rest of October and beyond. The seeds are sprouting whether you acknowledge them or not. The question is whether you're going to tend them or ignore them. And ignoring them doesn't make you safe. It doesn't protect you from disappointment. It just ensures that your garden grows wild and weedy, instead of intentional and abundant. The disappointment you're trying to avoid by staying closed will come anyway, but it will be the disappointment of looking back and realizing you had a chance and didn't take it, rather than the disappointment of trying something and learning from it. As I bring this transmission to a close, I want you to feel the full weight of what I'm telling you. October 22nd is not just another day. It's not business as usual, with a slightly positive vibe. It's a marker point, a checkpoint on your evolutionary journey, where you get to see tangible evidence that your inner work is creating outer results. The cosmic convergence of October 21st created perfect conditions, and you planted your seeds with conscious intention. And now, less than one full rotation of your planet later, those seeds are already pushing through the soil, already reaching toward the light, already proving that rapid manifestation is not only possible, but is actually happening right now in your life. The next 48 hours are critical. Stay conscious, stay present, stay active, take aligned action, protect your energy, celebrate your progress, trust the momentum that's building, and remember that you're not alone in this. The Galactic Federation is watching. Your guides are assisting. The cosmic forces are aligned in your favor, and the universe itself is conspiring to help you succeed. All you have to do is tend the garden. All you have to do is show up. All you have to do is say yes to the reality that's trying to emerge through you. The seeds you planted yesterday are already sprouting. Can you see them? Can you feel them? Can you trust them enough to give them what they need to keep growing? The answer to that question will determine everything about the reality you're living by the end of this month. I am Seraphine. We love you, and we are watching over you.